Hello YouTube. So I was having an issue with this Costco HD DVR, the Lorex. They sold it a couple years back with 8 cameras and this thing right here. I was having an issue with it where one day I switched over to my cameras and it was completely dead. No feed, no nothing. I was pressing the power button. Obviously I've opened it up, so there's the parts, the guts on the outside of it. But pressing the power button, nothing. And it was completely dead. Now, I had already called the place and seen whether they could do some board repair, and they told me it's going to cost a couple $100 to even look at it, which is fair considering the skill that those guys have. But I thought I'd give a crack at it myself, just to be safe, see if I can save myself some time and some money, because I kind of need a security system. That's what I bought it for. So, opening it up is pretty easy. You can see everything's out of this one right now. You basically take those two screws out there, and then the top you just, kind of hard to do this one-handed, but you just pop it open like that. You can see it fits on this one tab here with this part of the case here. I took everything out. The hard drive right there, and then these screws hold this one in here. This board here, you can see where the screws go. Now I've separated the screws because there's fine thread ones that hold the board in. These two black screws here go on the sides. They hold the front face plate in. And so the front face plate you can also unpin off the sides here and pop that out. This board here sits right in here. Now there's 5 screws that hold this. Sorry for those guys that are impatient. I'll get to the point in 1 second. So these are fine threaded screws that hold this board in. Coarse threaded screws screw into the plastic, hold this board in. So fine threads for metal, coarse for plastic. There's also one screw on the back right here, and that goes over here. And you'll also need to remove these two from the VAG port, I believe it's called. Old school video port. Now, what I noticed was this is the stock power supply. I plug it in. This is the switch, it's switched on. Nothing. I got no movement, I got nothing. You press this button, which is the power button. You can hear that clicking, nothing. Now, I was messing around with this. What I did was disconnect the power supply. I disconnected the hard drive. Thought maybe something's wrong with the hard drive. We'll see how it behaves with the hard drive disconnected. If I go ahead, turn this off, plug. Now this is the stock power supply that came with it. Plug it in, flick the switch on. Notice that little twitch of the fan there. LED 4 is not. You can see it blinking there. Just that little red blink. I'll get you a little. There we go. And these two LEDs on the front are blinking, which is odd, because I thought this board was completely I thought this board was completely dead. Now when we plug this in, now I know I'm working live, it'll make some of you cringe, but plug that in, nothing. So that got me thinking, that's very similar to when a cap blows on a motor. It's trying to turn, but it doesn't have the power to. Now I started Googling around, got on the interwebs, found out there was another guy who had an issue after a power outage. He actually went ahead, here we go, he took this guy apart and saw that it had blown caps in it. So I looked around, do I have anything similar to this? I do. From my Bose speaker, I had one. Over here you can see output 17 volts, 1000 milliamps. The output on this one is 12 volts, 2.5 amps. I'm guessing that's 2,500 milliamps, if they're metric. I could be wrong though. What's not wrong though is when I took this power supply, I'm going to plug it in right now. Sorry for the very choppy video, guys. I hope whoever needs to see this sees this. Could save you some time, some money. So plug that in. It works. It's working. She came alive. Power LEDs out. The hard drive, I can feel it spinning in there. It works. So take my HDMI cord. Don't plug it into USB. Plug it in. Ta-da! Now, all my cameras are disconnected, so obviously the feeds are all dead because its guts are laying on my bench here. But it looks like it works. I'm gonna plug it in and double check. I hope this saves somebody some time, some money, some frustration. It looks like what's going on is this no-name label AC adapter. You know the old adage, you get what you pay for. Well, I didn't pay for it. Lorex paid for it, but it doesn't say Samsung, doesn't say Sony, doesn't even say Bose. It does have that on it. Might have something to do with it. Made in China. So if you're having an issue where your Lorex DVR, HD DVR, is not booting up, do the first step. Get a power supply, get one off Amazon, search around your house, maybe get something close or similar. Anything that'll plug in and gives out, I'm no electrical engineer, but I would say if it says 12 volts, maybe it'll run on 9. Plug something in there, double check. She could be chooching like this on another power supply. I'm guessing that this is what's wrong. I'm going to try and run this for a couple hours, see if this runs. Now this is a 17 volt power supply. I don't know if that's very bad. If I might fry it, who knows, I might have to buy another one. But for those of you out there searching for an answer, this might be it. This guy's your culprit. Try a different power supply. I'm going to get on Amazon right now and try and buy one that's the exact 12 volt 2.5 amps. But for you out there, I hope my little experiment here, a couple hours, did something for you. If this is the answer, if I helped you, put a comment in the comment section so I know I didn't do this for waste. If it didn't help you, write it down. Maybe somebody else who's coming around can answer. It's all about sharing information, right? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Have a great day.